Without a doubt, one of my favorite character types in fantasy is the guild receptionist, but unfortunately, they don't get much attention. So when I seen I may be a guild receptionist, but I'll sold any boss to clock out on time, I was immediately sold. Adding the fact that the main character is voiced by the beloved Rie Takahashi, sign me up. Sign me up. And after watching the first 2 episodes, I am really, really enjoying this series. And yes, a lot of that is because, let's be honest, Rie Takahashi's carrying the show. Her voicing of this role is absolutely nailing it. She gets the energy in there, the outrage that she has, her just getting massively frustrated. Everything is just screaming, this girl is doing a fantastic job. But yes, for those that know what the series is about, it opens up with, yes, a guild receptionist, Alina Clover, who, yes, we find out at some point decided that she wanted to become a guild receptionist because she wants just a stable job. She wants a comfortable, stable job. And yes, being an adventurer, it's got a lot of overtime. You're constantly out and about, all that kind of stuff. It's just frustrating. She just wants a peaceful life. But unfortunately, she's not allowed to have a comfortable life because she has way too much overtime. Every time one of these people take a quest and they take too long to get the quest done, she's stuck with all this paperwork that she has to do. And so, yes, we find out at some point she was praying that she needed some way to get over this, and she was granted an ability to give her massive strength and this massive hammer. And so, yes, she goes down into the dungeon and solos the boss in order to finish the quest. That allows her to actually be able to clock out on time. But unfortunately, one day, she gets spotted by a member of one of the leading groups, and he immediately tries to find out where she's at, seen her face, and yes, he spots her as a guild receptionist. And when he tries to confront her to try to recruit her to join his group, she gets extremely angry about this because, yes, she's been outed. And so, yeah, she decides to start to threaten the guy. Says, leave me alone. I just want to be a guild receptionist. But the thing is that he knows that, of course, that she's extremely powerful because she finished a boss all by herself. But additionally, the fact that she seems like she has a special ability called a dia. And these are like abilities that the gods used to grant people a long time ago. They're not really sure how to unlock them. And she has one. So he figures that she has some extreme ability. You need to utilize it. Like, you've been granted this blessing. Why would you not use it? On the opposite end, she's kind of frustrated that she has the ability because it's, wasted to a guild receptionist, and she doesn't want to be an adventurer. Yes, eventually some jerk ends up attacking the town with this raid boss that was brought in. He ends up enslaving it, and so she gets really angry because it destroys her home that she just took a mortgage on, and she was enjoying her home. You flagged it, girl. I'm sorry. You said how much you enjoy your house, even though you have a mortgage on it. It's going to get destroyed. And this all leads into the actual guild master, who has the ability to actually see the past, is able to, yes, see the past of the fight itself and spot her face. And so he confronts her and then challenges her to a duel. So we'll see where that goes. But yes, so far this series has been absolutely fantastic. And like I said before, it's mostly Rie Takahashi. She's just doing a fantastic job voicing this role. I just get a kick out of her just constantly. A lot to do with the comedy is really in her head. So you'll have a situation where some guy from a leading guild comes to the place and he's holding up the line. And the entire time while she's got this massive smile on, being a nice, polite receptionist, inside she's screaming like, you idiot, you have to follow protocol. We have to ask you for your license. Yes, I know who you are. I'm not dumb to who you are. I need to know who you are because I need your stupid license in order to do this whole thing. It's that kind of stuff that comes up. Is always hilarious. And yes, it kind of started shining a lot when Jade, who is the leader of this one group, finally spots her and tries to confront her to join his group. Suddenly, all that internal frustration that she has starts to show. She gets that mean face on, like, I will kill you if you mess up what I got here. I want to have this peaceful life, being a guild receptionist. I have a house, a mortgage. I don't want all this overtime and sleeping out in the middle of nowhere. I just want to enjoy this life. And so she crushes this orb that is supposed to be like pretty much indestructible, busts out her hammer and starts swinging it at him. And he's just literally like, whoa, chill, girl. I love it. I think the whole scene in the first episode was like that selling point where you have the both of them are kind of in an interrogation room and you see all that frustration that she has for how long these adventurers take to do their quests. And she starts slamming her hand on the table going, you guys have no idea how much overtime we have to spend because you guys won't finish your stupid quests. And so I went down there and I handled it for you. That's why I did it, because you wouldn't. It's kind of like that whole insight into how difficult it might be for a lot of these guild receptionists that you see in all these other fantasy stories. It really is that. And so it does kind of have a little bit of fear for me that things might shift for this story to go from what we're seeing right now, which is a sort of a parody of all the guild receptionists that you never really get to see their stories now come to the forefront You've watched tons of isekai stories. And typically with the isekai stories, they go into the guild place. The person will give like the full lowdown on their entire ranking system. They'll give them their guild card, and then you'll never see them again. You might have series like, Danmachi or something like that, where they come to the forefront for maybe an episode or something like that. But typically you don't get their stories. Here it's almost like they're taking those brief moments and actually fleshing it out, sort of giving you a sense of every task that they have, the frustrations they have, the difficult people they have to deal with on a regular basis, people wanting different quests, being frustrated. There's this secret quest that they're trying to hide from them that doesn't even exist because it's just a rumor. It's that kind of stuff that is really, really entertaining. But what I was alluding to earlier is my fears is that it really does seem like Alina's whole secret that she is this executioner, as they call her, this person that goes down the dungeon and solos these boss for people in order to finish the quest, it's already getting unraveled. Like from the first episode, one of the leading guild's leaders actually figures it out, and he's constantly badgering her to join the group, which I thought was fine because he shows up and tries to badger her, she gets angry, shoos him off, and then that's it. But now we have literally the guild leader himself now knows her secret. It's like, well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. There's no way they can keep this under wraps at this point. Unless she figures out an ability to wipe everybody's minds. What I'm assuming it's going to go to from this point on is probably this guild master is going to duel her and then say, hey, if I win, you're going to help us with this one quest. Because we've already kind of highlighted there's this kind of special quest that was unlocked when she defeated this one mob, and it's to go to a tower that this guy doesn't even know where it's at. So it's a tower that's possibly never been discovered. And it's to basically take out every single boss in that tower. So my assumption is that, yes, she's going to get roped into having to do that quest. But I don't know. Maybe it'll turn into her threatening everybody and saying, no, I'm not doing any of that stuff. And it'll go back to the status quo of being a receptionist. Now, I can see that a lot of that stuff can get kind of repetitive, just the internals of the guild receptionist. But that's kind of what I'm hoping to have here, because that is sort of the unique thing this has. I don't want it to turn into, okay, now it's just she's an adventurer, but she wants to be a guild receptionist. Haha, isn't that funny? But we'll see. We'll see. I do like the fact that there is quite a lot of thought put into the world itself, and the idea that way back in the past, the gods used to give civilization or the people different abilities called dia, which again, that's what Alina has, and that helped them to advance civilization until at some point they all disappeared. And then monsters started taking over, and then humankind started to kind of rise up again, and now they're trying to figure out how to get these dia abilities. And Alina got hers because she was praying a whole bunch during this festival because she missed the festival because she had overtime, and she wanted the strength to be able to overcome that. And so it seems the gods decided to bless her with a massive hammer so that she could take down the bosses herself and be able to clock out on time. It's nice that it has enough substance there to kind of explain why she's so overpowered, but at the same time, it's not too much lore to kind of make it bogged down. Again, at its core here, it really does feel like it's just about Alina being massively overpowered, but yet not really wanting to be overpowered because she doesn't want to have anything to do with being an adventurer. She just wants, again, her 9-to-5 job. She doesn't want to have overtime, which she seems to get stuck doing all the damn time. And she doesn't want anybody to bother her. And again, what pretty much facilitates that to be absolutely perfectly portrayed is Rie Takahashi. She's just doing an absolutely incredible job, and I just absolutely love her character. Now, the one thing that I do have a little bit of pause for this show is the visuals. I think overall the show looks good. Although I will argue I'm surprised how not amazing it looks, because surprisingly enough, and I keep having to recheck this because I'm still kind of not wanting to believe it, this is Cloverworks. And yes, Cloverworks makes some absolutely beautiful shows. I mean, they work on Spy Family, they work on Dress Up Darling. This is a studio that has a very high caliber. And it's kind of surprising that what little polish, really what it is put into this show. Yes, the show still looks good, but a lot of the combat sequences and stuff, it just doesn't look like it has much polish to it. Especially CGI. The CGI dragon, especially in the first episode, and really just kind of the movements of the character, it just feels very bland. Most of the action itself isn't really well animated. It's just really just action stills, characters flying towards screens, slashes down or slashes up. It's almost as if this is like not really their B team, but like their C team. Like just a group that's just turning out the show for the sake of turning it out. It doesn't look like there's much passion put in the show, which is really surprising as well because the OP is chef kiss. The OP is chef kiss. It's almost like they put all their budget for the show into Rie Takahashi. There's also another seiyuu in there, the seiyuu for Kaguya-sama. They have like 2 really high caliber seiyus in there, especially Rie Takahashi. They probably spent a lot on her. And then they just poured all the rest of the money into the OP because the OP is insane. Which now that I think about it, it's kind of funny because I think the same person that worked on the OP worked on the ED for Kaguya-sama Love is War. Like, it's just a very different art style. It's a very fluid animation. The art style, the character designs themselves don't even really match the show, which is kind of odd as well. But yeah, there's a side of me that's almost like, why couldn't the rest of the show look like this? It's just absolutely gorgeous. I will say that the OP sort of makes you wonder if it's actually based on the story or if it's just something they created original, because obviously, similar to the Kaguya-sama Love is War, they took a lot of liberties in telling its own story in the OP. But there's like a segment in there where it has Lena actually going to shopping and she finds her hoodie that she typically wears whenever she fights. And she ends up seeing Jade in his party and she kind of has a little bit of feeling of almost wanting. And so I'm kind of curious if at some point there is going to be a sense here where at some point she's going to want to become an adventurer. Like, she's going to realize at some point, no, I actually want to do that. That is something that I actually enjoy, which I'm not sure that they'll actually go that direction just because Alina herself, whenever it comes to fighting, she just doesn't want to. Usually whenever she's fighting, it's because she has to. And she never gives a sense of like, yay, I did that. That was so much fun. Or a little tingling feeling that she gets. She just really is like, God damn it, they suck at this and I need to finish this stupid boss off. That will say that the character designs of the show itself are great. I love it. I think Alina's especially, I just absolutely love her character design. She's absolutely fantastic. But that's pretty much my thoughts overall with the show itself. Really fantastic so far. Really enjoying the comedy. Again, Rie Takahashi is just absolutely carrying it. I absolutely love Alina's character. She's just absolutely adorable. And I love her frustration that she has. I feel you, girl. I feel you, girl, when it comes to overtime. It just sucks sometimes. But yeah, just absolutely loving it so far. Really looking forward to more of it. But that's my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, hit the like button down below, comment. Let me know if you think of the series, if you're going to be checking it out. Additionally, if you're new here, subscribe before you leave. Like this content, you want to support on more, I have links in the description below. Greatly appreciate it. Until next time, y'all take care.